Hello, I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the zoning administrator for the city of San Clemente. Today is Thursday, December 17th, 2020. The first item on the agenda is to receive and file the minutes of the zoning administrator meeting of November 19, 2020. So received and filed. I failed to introduce myself. My name is Cecilia Gallardo Daly, and I am the zoning administrator. The next item on the agenda is oral and written communication. This is the time on the agenda where members of the audience may address the zoning administrator on any item within the jurisdiction of the zoning administrator that's not on the agenda. Speakers can submit their comments on agenda items to the zoning administrator electronically, and material may be emailed to www.sanhydronclemente.org/ZA public comment. And we request transmittal by noon on zoning administrator meeting days. That's recommended. And the zoning administrator is not permitted to discuss or take action on items that do not appear on the agenda. I have not received any requests for oral written communication, so we'll move on to the public hearings. We have two public hearing items today, and the first item is 209 East El Portal. It's a tentative parcel map, and we'll have our staff planner, David Carrillo, give us a staff report on this item.
Hi, good afternoon. I have a request. If the zoning administrator is okay with this, would it be okay to do one presentation for these two items before us today? They're similar requests from the same applicant and owner.
Yes, we can. You can do one presentation, and then what I'll do is open and close the public hearing for one of them, and then open and close the public hearing for the second one. So just so everyone's clear what the order will be, but go ahead and you can combine the presentation since the properties are right next door and sort of the projects mirror one another.
Yeah, okay. So David Carrillo, assistant planner here. These two properties we're be speaking about today are 209 East El Portal and 211 East El Portal. Both are a request to consider a duplex condominium subdivision to allow for individual ownership of 2 dwelling units on each lot. Both lots are near 7,000 square feet with a downward slope from the front side of the lot to the rear of the lot. So both sites are currently vacant, and there is a pending or ongoing building permit for a new duplex building on each lot. Both lots are in the residential medium zone, where 1 dwelling per 1,800 square feet of lot area or up to 3 dwelling units on the subject site are allowed. So on each lot here would be having two units per lots. So again, the applicant is requesting to subdivide the airspace of the lot to allow for 2 condominium units. And this proposal again would allow for separate ownership of each condominium unit and a portion of common areas. So staff did review this against the municipal code and found that we're recommending that the zoning administrator make the required findings for the following reasons. The project is limited to subdividing the lot's airspace to allow for separate ownership of 2 future condominium units on each lot and does not have any potential environmental impacts. Conditions of approval are included requiring covenants, conditions, and restrictions to establish maintenance responsibilities over all common areas, including driveways, parking, landscaped areas, walls, private accesses, and drainage. The proposal complies with the municipal code, building, health, and safety codes, and other applicable regulations and policies, and also includes requirements related to parking and density. So staff is recommending that the zoning administrator determine both applications categorically exempt from the requirements of CEQA, pursuant to CEQA guidelines section 15315, class 15, minor land divisions, and adopt resolutions ZA 20-028 approving tentative parcel map 2019-183, subject to conditions of approval, and adopt resolution ZA 20-029 approving tentative parcel map 2019-182. And that concludes staff's presentation. And we do have the applicant available to if any questions arise.
Okay, great. Thank you, David. Very thorough staff report. I don't have any follow-up comments or questions. I would like to invite the applicant to speak if he is interested in addressing the zoning administrator at this time on these two items.
Yes, this is Victor Mume with Toll Engineering. I have no questions or comments.
Okay, thank you, Victor. All right, so I will open up the public hearing for 209 East El Portal. That is map number 209-182. David, do we have any speakers on this item?
We do not.
No speakers. Okay. All right. I will close the public hearing on that item. Okay. Thank you. I've gone through the staff report, went and looked at the site, reviewed the tentative map and the conditions of approval. It's great to see that we're looking at some potential development on some vacant property in town. It's unusual we have vacant property, and when we do, it's nice to see residential development occurring. So it looks like it'll be a great infill development project. So I am able to make the findings for the tentative parcel map. This project is limited to subdividing the lot's airspace to allow for separate ownership of 2 future condominium units and does not have any potential environmental impacts. There are conditions of approval that would require covenants, conditions, and restrictions that would establish maintenance responsibilities over common areas, including parking, landscape, any private easements and drainages. And the proposal complies with the municipal code, building health and safety codes, and any other applicable regulations and policies. So with that, I will determine that the project is categorically exempt from the requirements of CEQA pursuant to CEQA guidelines section 15315, class 15, minor land divisions. And I approve resolution ZA 20-029, approving tentative parcel map 2019-182, the 209 El Portal Sharrows condominium subdivision, subject to the conditions of approval. All right, thank you. And with that, we will take on the next property, which is the tentative parcel map 20-01 for 211 East El Portal. I will open the public hearing. David, do we have any public speaker slips on this item?
None for this as well.
Okay, so seeing no public speakers, I'll close the public hearing. And I've read through the report and the tentative parcel map information, conditions of approval, and am familiar with the lot. I am able to make the findings for the condominium subdivision tentative parcel map. The project is limited to subdividing this lot's airspace to allow for separate ownership of 2 future condominium units and does not have any potential environmental impacts. Conditions of approval are included, requiring that covenants, conditions, and restrictions be established over maintenance and common areas, including driveway, parking, landscape areas, any walls or private accesses and drainage. The proposal complies with the municipal code, building health and safety requirements, and all other applicable regulations and policies. So with that, I determine that the project is categorically exempt from the requirements of CEQA pursuant to CEQA guidelines section 15315, class 15, minor land divisions, and I approve resolution ZA 20-028, tentative parcel map 2019-183 at 211 El Portal Cheros condominium subdivision, subject to conditions of approval. Okay. Thank you, David. Thank you, Victor.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, moving on to the next item on the agenda. It is new business. Seeing none, we'll move on to the next item, old business. Seeing none, I will adjourn this meeting of the zoning administrator to the next regular meeting of the zoning administrator to be held on Thursday, January 21st, 2021 at 3 p.m. via teleconference, as the January 7th, 2021 zoning administrator meeting has been canceled due to lack of business.